Gil Martin here. Welcome, everybody, to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth coverage of your Green Bay Packers. We have new episodes dropping every day, Monday through Friday. So hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to visit our website at thepackerspost.com for in-depth articles on your Green Bay Packers. It's been a tough time for the Green Bay Packers. Some big decisions had to be made in free agency and before free agency started. And I think overall, Brian Gutekunst has done well under the circumstances. Now, you can argue all you want that some of the prior decisions that Gutekunst made kind of created some of these problems, and I get that. But ultimately, I think given where we started today at, or Monday at, with the new league year right around the corner, and we're in the tampering period, the unofficial tampering period, legal tampering period. I think given all that, the Packers have made some smart moves that just make sense. Losing Elton Jenkins clearly is not easy, but what choice did the Packers realistically have? He's going to be 31 before the season is over. He's coming off a major injury and had a $24.3 million cap hit. That is just too much to pay for Jenkins. He did not really work out at center. You'd have to move him back to guard. And I just think they needed the cap space. They needed to move on. I've been a big Elton Jenkins fan, but I think it was the right thing to do. Now, as for Quay Walker, he has agreed to sign with the Vegas Raiders. He gets 3 years at $40.5 million. And again, I do not feel that that would be a worthwhile contract for the Packers. I don't think Walker is worth $13 million a year. Plus, given his weaknesses in pass coverage and some of the level he's played at. Now, you've already acquired Zaire Franklin over the weekend in a trade with the Indianapolis Colts. I think that's a fine short-term solution. If you get 1, maybe 2 years out of Franklin, it costs a lot less than Quay Walker would have, and it makes more sense. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that worked out. Also happy that the Packers re-signed offensive lineman Darian Kinnard. Why? Kinnard did a really nice job as a swing tackle, as the 6th offensive lineman. Whenever the Packers went to 6 offensive linemen, whenever there was an injury, he could step in, preferably at right tackle, and give you solid reps there. A useful piece. You sign him to a 1-year deal worth a maximum of $3.75 million. It's not expensive, and it works. Sorry to see Kingsley Enagbare go, but again, I wasn't ready to give him $10 million for 1 year either, and that's what the Jets have agreed to pay Enagbare, a 1-year, $10 million deal. And Enagbare is a solid depth piece, but you've still got Lucas Van Ness. You have Micah Parsons, even though he may not be ready to start the season on time. And overall, it just didn't make sense to bring Enagbare back at that rate. If you could get him for $4 or $5 million a year, I would think about it, but ultimately, defensive end is now a need after you move on from Rashawn Gary, and, that's something that has to be addressed. Now, as for Gary, got to give Gutekunst credit for this. You got a 4th-round pick for Rashawn Gary, a player you were almost certainly going to let go. Now, it's a 4th-round pick in 2027, but you end up saving substantial money against the cap. $11 million saved this year, $31 million off the books for 2027. You get a 4th-round pick in 2027. And again, just to refresh, Evan Williams was a 4th-round pick, for example. You can get really good players in the 4th round, and to get anything back for Gary at this point, after his very disappointing second half of the season, after, with a huge cap hit, this year he would have cost $28 million. It just did not make sense. Big time now for Lucas Van Ness to kind of step up. And then the other piece of news that we learned, and again, we all knew this was coming, Malik Willis agreeing to a deal with the Miami Dolphins. A lot of speculation that that's where he would go. After all, you've got John Eric Sullivan, the GM, with Packer ties, Jeff Hafley, former Packers DC. So not a surprise. 3 years, $67.5 million with $45 million guaranteed. What this means is that between Walker and Willis, the Packers are going to get some really solid compensatory draft picks in 2027, probably a couple of threes. You add, Walker into that mix, and it just starts to add up that the Packers will get some really good compensatory picks in the 2027 draft. And again, one thing we know about Brian Gutekunst, he likes to have as many draft picks as possible, especially day 2, day 3. Take as many shots at that dartboard as possible. And the more shots you have, the more likely one or more of them will stick. So overall, I think Brian Gutekunst did a solid job under the circumstances. Had to move on from Gary, got something for him. Had to move on from Jenkins. Didn't make sense to bring back Walker with that money. Same with Enagbare. He did the moves he had to make, and I think got more than you would have expected with some of the other moves. Getting anything for Gary right now, I think, was a coup. Don't forget to visit our website at thepackerspost.com for in-depth articles on the Packers. Also, hit the like button and subscribe here on YouTube so you never miss an episode of the Daily Packers Post. I'm Gil Martin. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, and of course, go Pack Go.